What's going on, y'all?
Hey,
Hold
what's
on.
up,
Let me find it. Welcome to another episode of Change the Plans podcast, y'all. It's been a while since I've done one. I'm with some special people, very special people. Hey, Woods, you can move that to the left. That card, that green card. Yeah, make sure. Yeah. Everybody's been asking me, Gerald, when you guys are gonna do another podcast? I'm like, hey, it's gonna happen when it happens, man. Two of my co-hosts, they are doing their own thing, which is fine. Shout out to KJ, shout out to Tib. They'll be back soon, but they have their own personal endeavors going on. But right now, y'all just see me, G Plans. I'm here. Shout out to you for just rocking with me. Shout out to the people who's been asking me, when is the next episode? When is the next episode? Y'all, this is the next episode. Okay. I would like to introduce my guest right here. And shout out to my cousin. He called me, say, man, Gerald, I came across these special people that you have to talk to. Like they can't leave Natchitoches without you talking to them. Like it's just that important. I'm like, man, what they have, man? They gonna have to tell you. I say, okay, let's do it. And we're here.
Appreciate you, G.
Yeah. Can y'all introduce yourselves first?
Yeah, my name is Donta Bell. I'm co-founder, CEO of Vero, the company that's changing the game on the internet.
Yes.
And I have here with me Arron Marsh, our Chief Technology Officer. And we're just going to, talk to you today about some of the things that we're doing and how we're revitalizing the internet.
Yes, sir. Clap. Yes, sir. Yeah. First, another thing I want to say, it's just so good to see Black people and young people in this space, because you hear these people on these panels and they talk about technology, but you always see white people, and shout out to them too. But this space is for all of us, and we can infiltrate it and we can get in. AI, tech, whatever, is here, and we have to do it. So I want you guys to teach me something today. Normally, I'm the one who's talking. Yeah. I'm the one who disseminating information to whoever.
Yeah.
But today, I want to soak in the information.
Yeah.
So let's start, man. Can we start? Like, how did you guys come up with it? Stuff like that. Yeah. The name. Where did the idea come from?
Yeah. Well, I'm a serial entrepreneur. Past 30 years, I've been inventing technology solutions, and this time, this is the one. My family are. My 3 boys are co-founders along with my wife, and they are the swag. And then we met Arron, game changer. He's Steve Jobs 3.0. He's the next developer. No one can touch this young man. So, and I'm so excited to have him part of. He's so good. I adopted him. We adopted him as a family member.
Yes, sir.
That's how good he is. And so, what we're doing is we're building and protecting generational wealth. And in order to do that, you have to have some type of intellectual property. So we built this from the ground up. We have 100% ownership of the IP, and our technology is competing against the likes of the big boys such as your Googles, your Chat GPTs. We've invented an AI search engine that is empowering every community, every city to enable their community to shop local and have a thriving community. So, for example, Natchitoches, Mayor Williams is launching our technology. Their economic spend power is about $229 million on an annual basis. And our technology is...
And shout out to the mayor, of course.
Shout out to the Mayor Williams.
First thing, too, another thing, we're at Onyx. Shout out to Nicole. This is a Black-owned business as well. And I want to make sure that we acknowledge her as well.
Absolutely.
And I want to land the plane as far as Black people thriving, Black mayor, Black technology, Black owner, Black media platform. We all Black right now.
Absolutely.
For sure, but
absolutely. No, it's all about collaboration at the end, right?
Yes, sir.
And making changes. But what we're doing with Mayor Williams is he has empowered every business in Natchitoches to be able to provide savings to all the residents. And being able to provide a single place where all the residents can apply for jobs, and a single place where they can have money recirculating in the economy to become a thriving community. So he's calling it Ash Natchitoches First. So we empower every city to be able to have this AI-powered localized search engine that gives the residents and visitors and tourists the ability to go to the Natchitoches website and ask Natchitoches first. So if you want soap, go ask Natchitoches first. If you want a phone charger, ask Natchitoches first. If you want a TV, ask Natchitoches first. If you want a drill, cordless drill, ask Natchitoches first. It's like Natchitoches and Amazon. So we're giving them the power instead of going to Amazon and making the purchase. Now you can ask Natchitoches first and get that same product in 15 minutes or less because it's right in the community.
Wow.
So we're trying to drive that engagement for every business, but at the end of the day, the residents are winning because they're able to save.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
And so this is how we change the game with the technology and the ability also to give the business the ability to reach the residents and the visitors through what we call push notifications. So, for example, if a restaurant's slow and it's 3:00 and they say we need some people in the restaurant, they can send out a push notification of a deal and say, you come in between 4 and 8 p.m., half off appetizers, half off dessert. Just show us your phone, and that's what you get. It's just that simple. Our technology allows that to happen. We bring the swag.
Wow.
We bring what we bring in the sauce.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's what we're so excited about. We're empowering the community to be, self-sustaining, and our technology is all web-based. So all the residents and visitors need is a phone, and the businesses don't even have to have no technology. They just look at the phone, and you get the deal, and you get the reward.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, I want to say you guys are currently here in Natchitoches with me.
Yes.
And we don't really get too many, unless they're in college. We don't get too many. Oh, I'm from Detroit, or I'm from
Jersey
or Philly, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get that. But I was told that you ran into our mayor.
Absolutely.
And y'all were in
DC.
Y'all were in DC. Shout out to DC. That's a great city.
Shout out to the African American Mayors Association.
Yes.
They had their convention in DC. Mm-hmm. We were down there. We were being featured, our technology for all the mayors throughout the country. And we were going to this event. And Mayor Williams, I didn't know who he was at the time, was behind me and my wife. And they started talking about all this sounding good looking food. I'm like, what y'all? I turned around, I said, what? And he said, this is Louisiana. This is what we do in Louisiana. I said, what? He said, yeah, we're from Natchitoches. I said, okay. And so from that point, the food in Louisiana, that's what started the conversation. And look where we are.
Yeah. Did you guys have some food while I was out here?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, food is right.
For sure.
Yo, y'all know what you're doing over here.
For sure.
Yeah.
So you guys right there, the chemistry was there.
Absolutely.
Initially.
Absolutely.
And then he seen you guys.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming he's like, look, y'all need to come down here and test the technology, I'm assuming.
Well, Mayor Williams is a very strategic man. So what he did was, after speaking to us, he called and made some checks for our references. So he called some other mayors in New Jersey to say, yeah, what they doing out there? And the response that he got back was, they doing their thing, right? And so he said, okay, we'll bring you on out, because he did his R&D, which is great. We're already launched in several cities in New Jersey. And, we came out here, to power, Natchitoches as the first, city in Louisiana, first city in the South,
And people don't know that 1714.
It's real.
Yeah.
It's real. And we're excited about that. We're powering the beginning.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, we're excited.
Okay. That's what's up, man. And City Real, right?
Yeah. That's the flagship product.
What make, how did that name come about?
Well, the company name is VReal.
Yes.
Right. We have a storytelling platform. So what people are going to also find out, we're providing in Natchitoches, every business gets an official digital storefront.
Yes, sir.
But it's a storytelling platform. So they can run videos, promotions, demonstrations, all through their digital store. And then from there, we use that to invent the search engine as a place to get to the digital storefront. And with AI, AI is a very phenomenal movement, right? And you have what's called global AI, and that's your Gemini's, ChatGPT, Perplexity. But then you got your Civic API. And your Civic AI is what we're doing.
Civic AI.
Civic AI.
Can you explain it? I've never heard of Civic AI.
It's localized AI.
Okay, I can explain this part.
All right, come on.
So the way that the Civic AI works is, so generally if you go on...
Hold on. You go up there?
So yeah, generally when you go on different AI platforms such as like ChatGPT or Perplexity or any other... Okay, yeah. So any other location or any other AI, whenever you're asking it questions and you're trying to get information from, you get information about anything really, the AI usually goes against its own like data set, and what that does is it leaves out a lot of local information, which isn't good for residents, because now when you're searching up things for, maybe you need, like for example, a power drill or just anything locally or anything, maybe a job, it will go outside, and that's not what we really would want. And so the AI, what we have specifically, what it does is it'll go against only the information that you give it. So, for example, with Natkish, all of the information about the jobs, all the different products that may be at like a beauty store, all the different products, all those different catalogs. Whenever somebody types in like a question and they want to figure out how to get that product or how to apply for some job or just find anything locally or civically within the city, it'll go against curated data that is provided. Just like how we're going around for each business, we're able to get that information to be able to bring back those results that are only specifically for that marketplace. And the reason that is important is because that keeps spending locally. And we don't want people, once again, going out to other locations, going out to Amazon and investing money in other places that aren't local, because at the end of the day, it's all about, once again, investing in your small businesses, because that's the heartbeat of the city. So, yeah.
Wow. And just to piggyback on what Arron just said, when we walked into, for example, there was a beauty supply store. In the beauty supply store, they had thousands of products. And so right now, the only way to get access to that is if they had a website to promote it. They may have Instagram or TikTok, social media to promote it. But most people, if they want a wig or they want braids or whatever, they may just go right to Amazon, type in wig, type in braids, and then make that purchase and have it shipped to them. Now we're telling that same store they can upload all 1,000 or 2,000 products to the Natkish search engine.
Wow!
Right. And when that result comes back, when they type in wig, it's going to come back with the different types of wig, different styles of wigs, and with the ability to have a link to get directions, walking directions, driving directions, links to get that wig locally. And then once they get there, it's going to say, oh, spend 20, save 5, right? So our technology even provides deal capabilities where now you can get that deal, and we have 3 types of deals in the system. We have what we call a continuous deal. That means that spend 20, save 5. You can do that once a month. Or they can say you can do it twice a month. The business decides how many times you can use that spend 20, save 5. Then you got the limited type of deal where there may be a wig inventory of 10 wigs that they need to move. Yeah. So they can say, okay, we're going to put these 10 up. First come, first serve. And once one bought 9 left, 8 left, 7 left, 6 left, we telling the community, you better come down before these get sold out.
Yeah.
Right? And then they got that flash deal. Right? Come down between now and end of the day, it's a special deal. 30% off, 40% off, whatever it may be.
Wow.
This is how you drive engagement.
So not only do you get a product in a short amount of time, you actually get rewarded for using the product with what you were saying about spend 20, save 5. You feel what I'm saying?
And not only are you rewarded, but it also puts you up. We have a leaderboard. So once you buy that product, you scan the receipt. Now you go up on a leaderboard, and Mayor Williams is providing gift cards, gift certificates, prizes, for those who are participating in shopping local. And it also tracks the amount that's being spent. So you got top spender, right? And all these different awards, all these different sponsors can make all these possibilities for the local residents.
Yeah. And that's great. Like, as far as, so you the young guy coming in, innovative guy. Where did the mindset come for the technology? Like, how was this going? Like, how are we going to run this? How are we going to? All right, we're going to choose these areas. We're going to choose how it works. How did that process come?
So kind of starting off. So actually, the way that I got into technology was actually originally. It was actually like before I even met Donta and started with City Row. I actually had a similar idea as to how to recirculate money back into the economy, because at the time, like, Detroit wasn't doing like super well, and so I really wanted to understand like the issue of like what's going on, and the whole a big issue once again is money leaving the like community.
Yeah,
and so from that, I taught myself how to program and be able to set up these different types of things. I'm sorry. Can you like read?
No, it was just just basically, I want to reiterate that,
Yeah.
like the concept, the idea of how this technology is going to operate or function.
Well, let me jump in for a quick second.
Okay.
He's not talking. He's a little modest, a little bit.
Yes,
So
yes.
this young man, he's been programming since grammar school. He taught himself. He's self-taught.
Yeah.
Right. So any person out there, you can do it if you put your mind to it. And technology is that thing that allows you to change your future.
Definitely.
And now with the advent of artificial intelligence and the ability to use technology to further your abilities, it's very important that you take the time to download some of these, ChatGPTs or Gemini or Perplexity apps on your phone, because it's like you have an assistant. It's like a personal assistant that you can ask anything, and it's going to reason with you. It's going to give you logic. It's going to give you feedback. And what you're able to do with that information is, move your thoughts forward.
Definitely.
And so back to Arron, when I first met him, we had a developer in Ukraine. And for some reason, I think with the war, something happened. And we lost him. We had lost total contact with him. And I was like, okay, we got to replace this developer. And so I started looking. And I went through at least 100 developers and came up with Arron. So I called him. And basically after interviewing him, I said, well, Arron, how would you approach this thing? And this young man said, well, Mr. Bell, I would use a product called Golang. And Golang is a parallel processing technology that will allow all of our servers to communicate. And when he broke it down to me, I was like, who is this guy?
Yes.
Right. So then, he came on board and we brought on other programmers, and other programmers could not do what this young man was doing. So we had several programmers, and now he has taken over the CTO position. He's our Chief Technology Officer. He is the visionary of the technology for the company. Anything technology, I run by Arron Marsh. He's 20 years old.
Wow.
I've consulted. Let me give you my background. I consulted for Fortune 100 companies around the world. And I ran global server architectures around the world, infrastructure for messaging. And I know the best of the best. I know what it takes. And I've never, ever have run into anybody in my history that can touch him. So this is
got to.
This is how real it is for our community. We got the sauce.
Yes.
We have the swag. We just need the exposure, right? And so when we went down to Forbes, we were featured on Forbes in 2023. And when we went down there, I bought Arron, I bought my son Javon, I bought my son Jaden, he bought his wife Maya, he bought his counterpart Camille, and they stood up. And I introduced them to the crowd, let them know, no, I'm not making this happen. I'm a visionary. Who's making it happen is the swag.
Yes.
Right? So you got two Gen Zs, 19, 20, and then you got two millennials, 26 and 30. All young Black men, all thinking out the box, all delivering innovation, communication at the highest level. Yeah, and speaking about my son Jared.
Shout out to Jared.
Shout out to Jared with his line. So not only are they innovating, but they creating and designing. He has a line called Get Different.
Get Different?
Get Different.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like that.
His thinking process is like that.
Yeah.
Get different.
Get different.
And actually, that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
At V-Real, with the city, we're trying to get different. We're trying to be, the path of the future. Again, that's going to set the path for generational wealth. Because it's not about, how much money you got. It's what you own. Because the owners control the narrative. Right? You don't want to be sitting at the table. You want to be the table.
The table, yes.
You want to be the table.
Yes, sir.
And that's what's happening right now. But this line, Get Different. You can go on Instagram, go to Get Different and place your order. He got a new line coming in from overseas. He's designing, cultivating, marketing, everything. Financing, accounting. He's doing it all. He's running his own company.
Yeah.
and didn't even come to me for any of it. He just did it. Wow. I was like, man,
but he learned from the best.
He watched
You
it.
groomed him.
Right. And let me add a few more things to this question.
Yes, sir.
When you talk about family, so none of this is possible without my wife, right? Because your wife or your counterpart, your mate has to believe in you. It's real stuff. So those are out there, believe in family, believe in yourself, but believe in family support. So that's the dynamic here. Like you said, my son didn't ask us nothing, but my wife's an entrepreneur as well. And so it's all about respect, trust, and cultivation, right? So that's the whole thing. If I can't trust, then nothing happens. So me and
Can I add on
Arron,
to that?
yes.
Yeah, I would definitely want to add on to that because me starting, because I actually started working with Donta and Vero when I was around 17 years old. And so a lot of people at the time, of course, me being 17 years old, nobody would probably, expect me to have the experience. But fortunately, Donta and Vero actually believed in me and gave me an opportunity to show everything that I've learned over the years. Because I have been programming for a while, but it was really difficult and all the time to be able to find and clients when I was freelancing to be able to put trust into me to be able to develop a product. But when I met Donta, I never said this really, but yeah, he was really one of the first people to actually believe in me to be able to basically build the company up. So
wow.
So it really is. It does extend into family and having the right environment around you to so such that your family and friends uplift you and basically keep you going.
So how hold on. Since he has my mic, how does that make you feel when with all the things that you just said, him acknowledging you and you acknowledging yourself, doing great work, changing the world. That's what you're really doing. How does all this feel?
Oh, it feels great because once again, just like I was saying before, because the whole idea for me starting to learn how to program up until now, and just having people who believe in me, it feels great because if I could do this, that means I could really do anything. If as long as people believe in you and you have the right support system around you, it just makes you believe that you can do anything. And honestly, when we were first tackling the problem of B-Real and all the different things that we're trying to do, I always didn't know the answer, but with the belief around me and the support and the family around me, I always knew that I don't have to know everything, but I do know that I am capable of learning and figuring out these things in order to build whatever it is that I need to do, and basically just figure it out because that's really what all it is. Because it isn't you can know everything, but if you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to be able to apply any of it. So it's really important.
And I'm gonna say one thing before, just to add on to Aaron answer. So we're on the phone, we're talking, we're having our business meeting, and we're throwing out different things to Aaron and saying, "Well, Aaron, can we do this? Can we do that?" And Arron says, "Javon and Mr. Bell, there's nothing I can't do." I said, "What?" He said, "So I just want you to know there's whatever you want to do, we can do it." So now when I go to a client, that client asks me a question, I say, "Oh, absolutely, we can do that." Because I'm going back to Arron. Arron said, right?
It's the trust
20-year-old.
The trust thing.
Right?
And you trust it.
The future of development said it's going to get done. So
it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when, because, it could be super hard, but at the end of the day, it's just you just have to apply yourself and it'll work out over time.
Yeah.
So with that being said, let me ask you. I got a question for both of you, all right?
Okay.
But I want to ask you first. I'm 20 years old. I'm watching you right now. I love what you're saying, but I don't know how to get started, and I don't have no money. I want to start in this tech world. Can you tell me what to do right now? Yeah. So again, that's what. Can you break it down for me? How do I get started today and just in my tech journey? Can you put it in dummy terms for me? Can you tell me right now, what do I need? I don't have no money, because people seem to say, man, you got to have money to do everything. But it got to be some way that I can start right now. And you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What do I need? My smartphone or computer? You did?
Can I start or you want to start?
Yes, man.
Okay.
So, yeah. I So yeah, starting in technology is actually like extremely cheap. It's one of the best things to get into because it doesn't really cost anything to start. And what I would say to any other 20-year-old who will want to start, or anybody that's young, or just anybody really who will want to start, I'm going to give like a little story that occurred around last year at a hackathon I attended. And so I went to a hackathon. So a hackathon essentially it's a competition really. So you get a goal of something that you have to build. And what you have to do is you have to program, and you have to work in a team of people. Not everybody may be a programmer. There might be designers. There might be people that work on the business model and the aspect of everything. And what you do is you compete to solve some sort of problem. And so I worked on a team that basically the idea was to allow investors to fractionally invest in properties using cryptocurrencies and using smart contracts. And so, yeah, and to be honest, so I've heard and I know about crypto, but I really didn't know like how to do any of that, how to create these like smart contracts and things like that exist in order to do those types of things. And so the way that I actually work through it, because right now we're in the age of information. So it's things like ChatGPT, like Donta was mentioning, Perplexity, all of those different things, it really helped me because all I have to do really is talk to it now, and it'll break down to me, not telling it to build it for me, right? But to basically take your huge problem, so the issue of how do you build this fractional investment application, and you start to work backwards from that. You start asking questions, because when you do that, when you ask the AI, how do I do this? The AI is going to tell you something, and you're going to learn something that you don't know. And now you take that and you ask more about that, and you just go down these deep rabbit holes. Yeah. And so that's how you really get started, because once again, when I started learning, like when super young, that's how you get it done. You just go down these deep rabbit holes, and you keep learning, and you keep growing, and eventually you'll find all the tools that you need to be able to connect the dots and to be able to produce something actually useful. And when you step back at it, so if you step back and look at it, you'll see that all these small steps that you've taken and all these little things that you've learned along the way, you're able to assemble them into something that's greater than the sum of its parts.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
And let me add to what he's saying. So he just told you cryptocurrency, blockchain. He developed a real estate application on cryptocurrency and blockchain.
Wow.
Single-handedly, because the person that was supposed to handle the back-end database component of it was not able to come through. So then he had to handle the back-end and the front-end development of the entire project. And that's when I say you're talking about this young man is just totally phenomenal. But to answer your question regarding how to get started, there's something called vibe coding, right? Vibe coding with AI allows you to build applications and websites with just talking to it. And you don't have to have the underlying knowledge of the code base. You just need to have the idea. And when you put it into a vibe coding application, it will build it for you. You just need to have the ideas now.
That's it. Just the
Right?
idea.
It's different now. You don't have, and those who went to college for programming, that whole game has changed. Those who went to college for developing web interfaces, that game has changed. AI handles all those things. Now it's the people with the swag and the sauce and the ideas that you can now talk to AI, and AI will build this application that you can then go and sell or have people register to or subscribe to. So anybody can do it.
Yeah.
Is the point.
So the barrier of entry to do these things is always decreasing, because if you think about way back in the day, just kind of going into like the technology terms, you start off with something called like assembly, which is like an incredibly hard programming language to learn. And then on top of that, you get something called C++, which is another tool that it turns that unreadable kind of code into something that you can naturally program and create more, dynamic applications with. And over time, things like that just keep compounding. And we're at the point now, like you're saying, instead of having to learn how to write, C++ and do all these different things, now we're at the point of just using natural language, which makes it so much more inclusive. And all it takes is for you to have the idea. And on top of that, it just takes for you to start and to have the drive to be able to understand how to use these new tools, because every day by day, the barrier of entry to make your ideas come to reality goes lower and lower. And it's all just about really the drive and how focused you are into bringing it into fruition. So,
and to your point, with not much money. So is the barrier of having the dollars needed, it goes away because most of these tools have a free application.
You don't have no excuse, right?
There
Yeah,
is
no excuse.
no excuse. No.
You have no excuse.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, we good.
Yeah,
We good.
one question.
We go ahead.
And that's what I was just trying to make sure
Mm.
they get it, because I want somebody young to be able to watch this and leave with something, man, and actually let this hit home, and they say, man, but and again, and I want to ask you, Miss Donta, that I heard you acknowledge your wife a second ago, right?
Mhm.
So I want to ask you, and when you said my wife's an entrepreneur as well,
Mhm.
can you tell us about those times when, I'm sure it was time when money was low, because when you're an entrepreneur, some weeks that money is flowing, and some weeks that money is you did what? How important is it having that person, man, who understands and be able to see something in you to stay down with you? And do you understand what I'm saying, or am I explaining
understand exactly what you're saying.
Can you
and I'm
tell
about
us
to,
about?
I'm about to exactly answer you too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is when it gets real, right? Entrepreneurship is ups and downs, and there's probably more downs than ups, but
Just like relationships.
just like relationships,
Yes, sir.
right? But you have to have faith in what you do, but at the same time, you got to be smart in what you do. That means you got to do research. Like a lot of people, they go into things but don't know about their competition. All I do, I get up 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm studying. I'm studying my competition. I'm studying those who are trying to enter the game, those exiting the game, because the more I know about them, the better I'm able to move.
Yeah, that's good. I'm
Right.
glad you're saying
Right.
that, because when you text me at 5 something this morning, you
Yeah. Yeah, I'm up, boy. Right. Now back to the spouse. If the spouse sees you doing your research and she understands that you navigate, and you're not just doing stuff, right? And you're not just spending money. Some people just doing stuff. No, you just can't be doing stuff. You got to be strategic in what you're doing. And when your spouse sees you being strategic and they see the vision, right? Because it's all about communication, right? And you have to be able to not just communicate with your spouse. You got to be able to communicate with your kids. You got to be able to communicate with the clients. It's all about clarity. And so, to your point, when it's low, now it's based on, okay, what are we doing? How are we making ends meet, to your point, Kim? And that is when it gets real, to the fact of, I always also say, don't sell your soul, right? Because what a lot of people do is, they want to now go and borrow money, for example, or they want to go get an investor, right? And when you do both of those things, sometimes it's not the best thing. It's almost like, the layaway, or, you get it now, pay later. It's not always the best thing to do. This has been built from the ground up without borrowing, without an investor. Because when you get an investor, some of the things with an investor is you can never please that investor, right? Because they're going to want more. You make $1 million, they're going to how you make 10. Make 10 million, how I make 50, right? You're going to always be in that position. So all you got to do is step back a little bit, talk to your spouse, and sometimes you just got to wait. Sometimes you just got to sacrifice. And at the end of the day, if you're doing your research and you really believe that what you're doing is going to work, then go for it. But if you have questions about whether it's going to work because you didn't do your research, right, and you're into something that you don't have expertise, that's another thing. People just do stuff because they think they can make money, a lot of money. It ain't about the money. If you don't have the passion, right?
Yeah.
You gotta have passion first, right? And now with that passion, now let's go and move a little bit and make this stuff happen. And so, if your wife or your spouse understands that it's passion based and it's something that you truly believe in, and it's something that she sees you putting your all in, if it fails, it fails, right? And ain't nothing wrong with failing. See, that's the problem. People don't want to fail.
yes.
You gotta fail to move forward.
Hey man, but you can go to work and
fail also.
But it's not.
So when you passionate about something, you
Yeah.
dig what I'm
Well,
saying?
Yeah.
but fail. But let's define fail. Fail means hopefully you learn something, right? And if you learn something, it takes you somewhere closer to where you want to get to, right? Don't keep going down the fail hole. Learn from that, maneuver, get up, dust off, and go this way. So, but that support, that spousal support, I've had probably 20 inventions. All my inventions were 5-10 years ahead of their time. And sometimes they were too far ahead and it failed. But that didn't stop me from learning about the failure to take what I learned from there to the next invention and move forward. So, and again, it's real 20 inventions. So this is my best of the best. So this is all my inventions brought into one.
I get it.
So to your point, it's all about research, R&D, understanding, is this real? Can this really happen? And if it can happen and you see the opportunity, move forward. But at the same time, you got to look at what's real. You got to look at these Amazons, right? You got to look at these big companies. Apple just was launching a tool feature that will allow you to schedule a text message, right? And if you were in that space of had an application that scheduled text messages to be sent out, this one feature in this company can put you out of business.
So when she say you ain't text me today, I can just set up schedule text.
Exactly. Exactly. So, but I'm just saying, when you have these ideas, you got to understand what your competition is, and if one feature in some of these big companies can take out a smaller company. So you just have to be strategic. You got to do your research, and having someone with you along the way that's going to go up and down. They say ride or die. Yes, you know what I'm saying? My wife is ride or die.
I did.
You know what I'm saying? So, and that's Alicia Simone Bell. That's what we do.
Yeah. Oh, I finally got it right. We're good. I want to go back. I want to go back for a moment.
And I'm sorry I get it. I know I get to take it over, but I just wanted to.
Yeah. First, you've been saying some great things. So throughout the episode, I've been trying to get all the stuff right, which I can hear. But anyways, we talked about blockchain technology and cryptocurrency. I'm into crypto. Okay. Now, I'm not an expert, but I know that when it comes to Bitcoin and the rest of it, it's like mathematics, really. Yep. When it come down to it, that's what it is. So you talked about smart contracts and blockchains. Now, I had Solana at one point, but I sold it. I'm more Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a lot of meme coins. I'm into Pepe and Floki and all those. But one thing you said was real estate, and I read about this one called Proppy. You know about Proppy?
I have not heard of that yet.
Proppy deals with real estate. Now I don't have much of it, but I've been buying it here, there, and the third. Okay. And my thing to you is, how did you even get to, all right, I'm going to get on the blockchain and make it, or even just deal with it? Who gave you that idea to do that? Because when it comes to blockchain technology, it's so much stuff that it consists of, and it's evolving.
Correct. Yeah.
So how did you get into that?
So I actually didn't have anything to do with the So this is going back to the hackathon. So I actually joined a team. And this is I joined the team of two brothers who actually, this was their idea, and I just joined their team because I thought it was a great idea, and I began working on it. So I had no idea of how, I guess, the blockchain worked completely, and a lot of the different things that go into it, I didn't really understand. And so working with that team, that is what encouraged me and inspired me to essentially learn all these different things, and to learn how to create these smart contracts, how to deploy them, how to make sure you have all the different rules and permissions set up such that you can transfer these tokens and contracts. Yeah. And so it really just came from working with them and then understanding the issue, and once again breaking down this huge problem of how do you set up safely the kind of the application and the ability to be able to fractionally own the shares of these properties, and how do you manage them, and how do you get people to pay them out. And so all these different kind of steps and things that go into it, just learning how to take it one step at a time and break it down based on the different needs that the consumers and the people and investors and the property owners need, and just understanding the larger problem and taking the steps to understand it.
Yeah, that's amazing. Wow.
And what period of time?
So the hackathon, it lasted 24 hours, but over the course of another about 3 or 4 months, I developed it was an interface really that allowed investors and real estate owners to put up their properties. And so the way it really worked was the property owner, when they signed up on the platform, what happened was they'll post their property, and at the same time it would post a smart contract onto the Ethereum blockchain using like Solidity and that kind of language to create the contract. And from there, the investors who signed up, they would create their own wallets such that they can fund and send Ethereum to, such that now they can begin to buy these fractional shares of the properties. And so with that, it was just a huge, it was a huge application that was just, you just have to break it down.
Yeah. And speaking of that,
And you built it single-handedly?
Yeah, so it
single.
was,
Hold on. You hold on. You thought of this and you built this single-handedly.
They thought of it. He built it.
so yeah,
Oh.
it was it was actually funny because I
Wow,
had
that's
this
crazy. And the reason,
In a month.
and the reason why I'm over here, because I'm a crypto guy and I'm a ledger guy. Like I have my own ledger.
Me too.
Yeah. So now you have others, but I just like ledger. Now great. That's my cold wallet.
Right.
And of course I got my cold wallet pull up and I got my seed phrase put up.
Right.
So I ain't worried about none of that. Not only that, what I want to say is Uphold, Coinbase, Bitmart, Robinhood a little bit as far as crypto. This is the money. This is the house money. The money that I got to put up, I'm putting up. Now I don't never plan on setting my Bitcoin, but regardless of the fact, that's not even the point. The point is like how your mind work at 20. I'm 35, right? Now I've been playing with crypto, I'm gonna say since like 2016, 2017, playing with it. Just it's crypto, whatever. I'm telling people about it. But as far as being 20 years old and can come up with these concepts and then understand customers and what they might want in the future. So if you have a problem, all right, when you think of that, I've already done it. It's like you crossing your steps, dotting your I's, crossing your T's, and you did this in a month.
And then programmed it.
And program. This is crazy. Wow.
Donta is like, you get so excited.
Wow. He look like a proud parent right now. Like, for sure.
Everybody that's watching this,
Yeah.
you've seen it first
Yeah.
before it happens. You see in the future right here. There's no one else like this young man.
Wow. Oh, we can.
Oh, we took a brief
intermission, but Donta, before we get out of here, bro,
Sure.
I didn't get a chance to ask this. Shout out to Hollywood again.
Hollywood.
Yeah, Ken Flyway. He had so many names, but very, very good guy. How do you keep that fire burning, the passion, to just keep on going? To be all right. I'm getting up at 4 a.m. I got another idea every day, ready to tackle the world.
Well, first, faith in God is the key element, right? And everybody has purpose. He gave me my purpose, and that's my family, right? So I've already been blessed because my boys are building the business, right? There's no greater gratitude than them coming up with thoughts and ideas and executing and making it all happen. And so I don't know if you ever seen the Superman movie, but
The new one, the latest one?
one of the ones back in the day where he said his purpose was to protect Krypton,
Okay.
right? And at the end, Superman had to kill him, but he went down because he had to protect Krypton. He
You talking about Lord Zord, whatever his name
he
is.
died
Yeah.
to protect. That was his purpose.
Yes.
My purpose is generational wealth and to protect it for my family. So it ain't about me. So my fire ain't never going out because it's not about me, right? It's about my kids. It's about when they have their kids. It's about Aaron. It's going to be about his kids. It's my niece. Now, everybody going to have a place to sit down and break bread and have something they own, right? This isn't being built to sell and make money. This is built to have a legacy. We want to be real on the buildings. We want the Rockefeller feel. We want the Rockefeller swag. That's the future because it's not about ownership. It's not about how much money you got. It's about how much money what you've invested in, what's owned by you. And that's where the narrative, if you control the narrative, you win. You have to control the narrative. The only way to control the narrative is to own it. If you don't own it, somebody's just going to bypass you and get you out of the way. So, but my purpose is not about me. My purpose is my family and my family's family and generations to come. So when they look up and they talk about Donta and Alicia, right?
Now, it's this guy named Tall Guy Tycoon. He's a investor. I watch him. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children.
That's right.
That's what's going on.
And the way this is going to work out, because sometimes people get a little crazy, we're building a trust.
Yes.
Right? And the trust is going to protect the inheritance.
Yes.
Because, some people may not have the same vision, but it's not going to matter because the trust is going to handle the vision and it's going to handle the legacy of it. But it's about legacy. It's about building a trust to protect the legacy. But we've already won because my family, Arron, my wife, everybody is thinking future. They're thinking entrepreneur. They're thinking out the box. They're thinking they can do it. Everybody believes. Like, they believe. And when you believe, and it's in here and you believe, and then you got the family, you got the nucleus. When one of the things I'm excited about too, never told Arron this, but, my kids have someone that they can depend on, right? We're not just building, innovation. This is building family with innovation.
Yes.
When you got family, faith and trust with innovation and trust where it's there, ain't no stopping it. And then who knows what's about to happen? You just got a seed planted, and from that seed, things can sprout. But again, my purpose is not about me. Everybody usually is about me. When they retire, how much I got in retirement? Where am I going? Where am I doing? What am I doing? What am I? Once people get past the I, right, and get to my family and stop worrying about self, they're going to be in a much better place.
I have to add on to that because this is like another thing too. Like I never mentioned, but yeah. So when I first started like working with V-Real, because I was doing freelance, right? So I'm just doing freelance. I'm trying to just get money, right? And so I don't know if you remember, like there was like periods of time too where I because once again it was a startup. It is a startup, and at the time, we don't do like investments and things like that. So working kind of under the pressure of not having tons of funds like immediately was like a very like hard issue. And like personally for me, because like I started off as like, okay, this is just like another job. This is like a freelance opportunity that I'm trying to do. Well, if I'm not like receiving any money, that's just like, dang, like why do I continue?
Right.
But over time, like from all the different calls, all the different meetings, and I realized it's like something much deeper, like than just like if I'm gonna get paid this
100%,
whether or not it's something much like greater than that. It's like now I'm working with a team that's once again the people who believe in me, and where it just like it doesn't really matter much about if I get paid or whatever. It's
the money gonna come.
Mission. Yes, it's literally about
automatic
mission, because if all you're focused about is now, let me get paid right now, you're not gonna push past and do what you can do, because now it's just like you cap yourself immediately, like right there.
I got a book that I'm putting together called Eat With Your Eyes, The Art of Online Marketing, right? And in the book, I have a chapter called Get Paid in Grapes. The reason it's called Get Paid in Grapes, because when I first moved, I met this guy. And when I went up on the roof, I would go up on the roof just to, get my vision together and just think. And I see this guy flying a drone. And he's flying a drone, to the buildings. And I will see this guy every day. I'm saying, what is this guy doing? So finally, I just asked him, because I just believe, man, I do not want to. I'm in fear of sitting next to a millionaire and I didn't open my mouth. You feel me? I got a problem with that. Right. You dig? So I asked the guy, and he said, man, I'm flying the drone because there are people wanting to buy these buildings, or they selling these buildings, and people want to be able to look at the unit on top or see how many cracks in the buildings or and he was saying how he flies the drone over these grape fields, the fruit grapes, you know what I'm saying? They fly the drone over. And so I'm asking him, I said, so you, how much you get paid from that? And he said, I don't get paid from the, you know, from flying over the grapes fields. And I'm like, what? And he said, so he went to his bag and he pulled out a bottle of wine. And he said, my wife has a wine company. So they pay me in grapes. That's when I understood the concept of sometimes you're going to get paid in grapes. It ain't always about the money up front,
right.
But they make more on the back. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So when you said about the faith, dog, I'm sorry, man. I just talk like this. You feel me? This is how I talk to God. Believe that. You did? I talk to him like this. So what I'm saying is about the faith part. I'm going to try to break that down further because people hear, and it sounds so generic. You got to have faith. You got to have, man, this is what I'm talking about. It's automatically in the rule book, his rule book, right? If you take steps toward it, it has to take steps towards you. He've already said this in the rule book. If that doesn't happen, he is a liar. He's not gonna come back a liar. Period. So that's what I mean. You have to believe that and start walking. And you can't turn off the walk before the boom happen. Cause you don't know. You feel what I'm saying?
And
you just
let me add.
I hope what I'm saying makes sense. You dig what I'm saying? I just had to explain it like that.
One last thing I wanna end up with too is it's not an easy road. Even when I learned something, I took my son Jared's orientation at Rutgers. The lady drew a chart and she said, your experience at school in classes is going to be like this, right? And she said, if you listen to me, it'll be like this, because I was trying to lessen your pain by giving you advice and you know, things that we think you can do that's going to make your life a little bit easier. But it's not an easy walk towards faith. It's going to be a difficult walk. And he wants soldiers. Soldier means that you got to be in it and you got to have some heart, you know, to be able to take it. And you're not taking things personal. Like too many people take things personal. It's not about you. You know, it's about the mission. It's about the goal. And so, you know, back to your point, you know, it's, you know, faith and being able to, you know, understand that it's not a straight road. It's going to be a bumpy road. But if you have strategy, if you have research and you do your homework, just like in school, if you do your homework, you can make it happen because you got to know what your competition, you got to be 5-10 steps ahead of competition.
Yes.
And that's just it. So
Yes.
if you're doing that, I don't care what industry you're in. And I'm gonna leave with that.
Man,
Yeah.
man, dog.
Yeah.
For sure, man. Before we get out here too, what about like social media? How can they find you guys? If someone see this interview and they, man, I wanna get with these guys. You have emails, you have a Facebook, Instagram, what up? YouTube, what up?
Well, you can go to vreel.page, vreel.page. That's our main website. Our technology, our flagship product, CityReel. You can go to cityreel.link, and that'll show you the cities that we're launching. But at the same time, we're focused on what we do with CityReel, right? So it's about municipalities. There are 36,000 municipalities across the United States, right? And we are going after all of them, right? Our vision is to power the country with our technology. It means we are enabling cities to be thriving and self-sustaining. And so, but that's how you can get in contact with us. But we're focused on mayors. If you know mayors, if you know council people, if you know executive directors, what we call business improvement districts, special improvement districts, we are totally locked in and we're totally focused. And that's another thing I want to tell the people: don't try to do everything. Do something, but do whatever that one thing is. Be the best at it, right? And right now, we are the best AI-powered local search engine in the world.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And another thing I want to get on camera too, I think it was concerning technology. You said we're gonna thug technology or something?
Oh yeah. So we are the thug of technology.
But can't you explain that?
Yeah. See, I got Arron. That means it's everybody made this. I always say, don't even suit up. Don't even come to the game.
Yeah.
Don't put the uniform on, right? Don't strap the laces in, because you're about to be taken to the rack, right? Right?
Like they call them why, what they think they call YN. But bring some of that YN energy in this work and do something that's gonna be to change your family life and keep you free and keep you safe and you feel what I'm saying? Because we got this. I'm sorry, man. I just have to say that, but
when you got Javon Bell, Jaden Bell, Jared Bell, Aaron Marsh. I'm gonna just go like this.
All-star team.
Don't even suit up.
Dynasty.
Because they come, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting back. So right now, actually, I can sit back right now and they can rock with it. That's how good. That's where it is right now. They can rock with it. I can push back and they can rock. So that's it.
Wow, man. In closing, you wanted any last remarks or
I just say once again, most people. My dad always told me this. He will always say most people don't even try, and that's very true for what I've seen. Even me going through Detroit, and there's something called Tech Town. There's a lot of different places where people go to discuss ideas, and what I've seen, there are a lot of people who they'll have everything in their head, but they're too scared to start. Like Donta was saying, a lot of people are too scared to fail. See, personally, I don't care. I've failed so many times doing so many different things. Robotics, I guess I also do robotics. I've broken so many things, $1,000 parts over and over. I failed many, many different times. And the one thing I would say is no matter what it is you're trying to do, be the best at it and make sure that you just start. Because once again, most people won't even do that. So it's just all about just getting out there and just starting.
It's some kind of secret.
Most people are scared to fail.
They think it's some kind of secret. When you win, they think it's some kind of secret thing that you did. Nah, just keep going. It's gonna have to bust sooner or later. It's gonna bust.
Exactly. It takes one time. It takes one time for you to win.
And I'm gonna add one thing before we go. I think this is a very important point I'm about to make. Technology is one thing, but it can't happen without relationships. Relationships. Don't burn no bridges. If you say you're gonna do something, do it. Right? Be honest with yourself. Just be truthful. It may not be what that person wants to hear, but just tell the truth, because that's gonna put you in a position for success. Relationships. Always you leverage your relationships, and then when you put technology and put that little sauce on with technology, that's it.
That's it, man.